I thank the Minister for his statement, and we now move on to the 10-minute rule motion. Henry Smith.
Madam Deputy Speaker, thank you very much. I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to prohibit the caging of commercially reared egg-laying hens and pullets and for connected purposes. Madam Deputy Speaker, the people of Britain are some of the most caring and compassionate people in the world. We are a nation of people who care about justice, about each other and, of course, about animals. As the Secretary of State for the Environment, my right honourable friend, the member for Camborne and Redruth, eloquently put it in his department's action plan for animal welfare, we are a nation of animal lovers. Therefore, Madam Deputy Speaker, we must ensure that we treat animals with compassion. This bill will help do that by liberating millions of hens from inhumane cages. The UK banned the use of battery cages for hens in 2012. But this ban did not extend to so-called enriched cages. These cages are larger than conventional battery cages, but still do not allow adequate space for the hen's natural behaviours. When these behaviours cannot be performed or are severely restricted, it can lead to frustration that is extremely detrimental to their well-being. This is why enriched cages have been condemned by animal welfare bodies, and, for example, the RSPCA wrote a piece with several organisations which stated, and I quote, "It is clear that such modified cages fail to properly meet the hen's physical or behavioural needs, severely restricts many important physical activities, including running, flying and wing flapping, and do not permit unrestrained perching or dust bathing. The severe restrictions of the hen's ability to exercise is likely to lead to frustration, bone weakness, osteoporosis, and are clear indicators of poor welfare." Madam Deputy Speaker, studies show that hens have a high level of intelligence, social and verbal complexity. They have individual personalities and have been shown to experience empathy when hearing the calls of their chicks. Yet, despite this complexity and evident sentience, countless hens continue to languish in cramped cages, which make it near impossible to express their natural behaviours and which causes extreme suffering. One such hen, Beatrice, was just a few days old when she was put into a cage. With every day she spent there, she became more and more frail. She lost most of her feathers, became underweight, and her bones grew brittle. For 2 years she woke up to the same noisy, crowded misery. Luckily, Beatrice was rescued by a kind individual, but millions of hens around the world remain in cages which severely impact their welfare. Now, given my first name, Madam Deputy Speaker, I had considered subtitling this bill Hen's Bill, but I think Beatrice's bill should be what it is subtitled, and I think Beatrice should get the credit. Madam Deputy Speaker, countries such as Austria, Switzerland and Germany ban cages for hens. On the 8th of June 2021, Nevada became the 9th US state to ban the use of cages for laying hens, and just 2 weeks ago, the EU committed to phasing out cages for animals by 2027. Therefore, this bill is key to the UK claiming its place at the forefront of animal welfare standards and ending the unnecessary suffering of millions of hens like Beatrice. Madam Deputy Speaker, this bill also has enormous public support. According to a report published by the Conservative Animal Welfare Foundation in 2020, 76% of consumers want banning cages to be a priority. Also last year, Compassion in World Farming published a poll carried out by YouGov, which found that 88% of the British public believe using cages in farming is cruel to animals, and a petition on their website calling for cages to be banned in the UK currently has around 600,000 signatures. In addition to having public support, most major retailers and egg producers are also in favour of going cage-free. All leading supermarkets, such as Tesco's, Asda, Aldi, Co-op and Lidl, are committed to only selling cage-free shell eggs by 2025. This not only applies to their own brand shell eggs, but all shell eggs sold in stores. Marks & Spencer, Waitrose and Sainsbury's are already 100% free range for shell eggs. Many major companies in the restaurant, manufacturing and catering sectors also have public commitments to transition to 100% cage-free egg use by 2025. Several leading restaurant chains such as Pizza Express, Nando's and Pret A Manger have already sourced only cage-free eggs, with over three-quarters of the sector now committed to doing so. All of these commitments apply to both shell and ingredient eggs. Egg packers are also overwhelmingly moving towards a cage-free future. According to research by the Humane League UK, 71% of egg packers are either cage-free, publicly committed to being cage-free by 2025, or have publicly stated their intention to become a cage-free operation. Unfortunately, despite this industry support, 38% of eggs in the UK still come from cages. This equates to approximately 16 million laying hens a year. Even with corporate cage-free commitments, the Humane League UK estimates that up to 8 million laying hens will annually remain in cages across the country, and they anticipate that cage eggs will still be sold in a number of sectors where it is either unclear where the ingredients come from or where organisations have not signed up to cage-free commitments, as is the case with many major pet food companies, wholesalers or single-location restaurants. Therefore, without this bill, hens will continue to suffer on an enormous scale. Madam Deputy Speaker, several major companies such as Nestlé, headquartered in my constituency, Greggs and Premier Foods are now calling for the backing of legislation to ensure that no eggs come from cage hens. For example, Nestlé stated that, and I quote, "Farm animals deserve decent welfare standards. Nestlé supports the phasing out of a cage system for all egg-laying hens, building on industry efforts to date. We're proud to source 100% of cage eggs cage-free eggs for all of our food products in the UK." Similarly, the President of Kraft Heinz Northern Europe said, "We're proud to have committed to ending the use of cages for laying hens in our supply chain. It's now time for policymakers to follow suit so that all laying hens are spared this suffering." Building on this message, the Sustainable Restaurant Association stated, and I quote, "It recognises the progress that the industry, including many of the 12,000 restaurant sites that we work with, have made in moving away from sourcing caged eggs. But the reality is that this cruel method of production will only cease when government enacts legislation." Madam Deputy Speaker, moving towards a cage-free future for hens is a goal which has widespread parliamentary support across this House. Combined with the government's stated commitment of animal welfare and to review policy around cages, this near total public, private and parliamentary support is represented. Madam Deputy Speaker, there will of course be some upfront costs associated with moving away from cages and towards systems that better safeguard animal welfare standards. Farmers will need the support of government to transition in the beginning, and that's why I'm proud of the 2019 Conservative Party manifesto explicitly stating our commitment to support farmers to work in a way that safeguards high standards of animal welfare. In March of last year, the government elaborated on this by stating that we are developing publicly funded schemes for English farmers to provide public goods, including animal welfare enhancements. To conclude, Madam Deputy Speaker, I congratulate the government on the many steps it is taking to promote animal welfare. I am proud that my party is leading the way on a range of new laws, such as the Animal Welfare Sentencing Act, the Animal Sentience Bill and the Kept Animals Bill. These laws will introduce profound changes that will positively impact the lives of countless numbers of vulnerable animals. The purpose of this bill is to continue this great work through a ban on cages for hens in the UK. Madam Deputy Speaker, this bill will end needless suffering of millions of caged hens like Beatrice in the UK. It is economically viable and it will bring our laws into line with the strength of public feeling about this issue. It will also prevent companies from being undercut by businesses with lower animal welfare standards and help confirm Britain's position as a world leader in animal welfare. Again, as my right honourable friend, the member for Camborne on Redruth, the Environment Secretary, said, the way we treat animals reflects our values and the kind of people we are. Madam Deputy Speaker, I couldn't agree more, and that is why I urge the Government and this House to support this bill. Thank you.
The question is that the honourable member have leave to bring in the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Who will prepare and bring in the bill?
Sir David Amis, Sir Roger Gale, Dr. Lisa Cameron, Caroline Lucas, Christian Wakeford, John Barron, Rosie Cooper, Giles Watling, Tracy Crouch, and myself, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Henry Smith.
Hen Caging Prohibition Bill.
Second reading what day?
22nd of October, Madam Deputy Speaker.
22nd of October 2020. Thank you. 2021. Sorry. My mistake.